Alright, so it's currently 5:53 a.m. and I'm getting it ready for work. So I gotta pack my lunch, pack all my stuff, and get the day rolling. Currently waiting for Paul to come pick me up because my truck is still out of freaking commission. And I should be getting it within like the next 2 days. Long story short, it's actually gonna be in the next vlog, not this firefighter vlog. Kind of like a lifestyle vlog of whenever I do talk about what actually happened and why my truck took so long to fix. So if you guys are interested in that, please stay tuned for the next video. Alright guys, just made it to my PT test. So we're at the base gym. Haven't been here in so long. Probably like 6 months, maybe a little more. I'm about to bum a little scoop of Euphoria pre-workout. Not a full scoop, maybe like a baby scoop, but like half, maybe like 1/4, I don't know. But yeah, about to go in there. Hopefully give you my stats when I come back out. Get prepared, get the headphones in, and knock it out. I gotta be there at 8:30. It's currently 8:10 right now, so got some time to kill. Alright guys, so we just finished up the PT test, and it wasn't actually that bad. So I remember my very first year I moved here, I got a 97 on my first one. Then last year I got a 98, and this year I got another 98. So I maxed out on, sorry, like the camera's super shaky. It's just like, I don't know, kind of like shaky myself. So waist was 31, so I got to score 20 points for that. Push-ups was, I maxed out at 68, which is the max was 67, and then sit-ups, I had no idea what the max was for that, but I got 68 and I maxed it out as well. So I maxed out on those 3 things. Then finally I got a run of a where is it? A 10. So it's a 10:34. Then they take off 12 points because of the elevation here in Colorado. So that makes it a 10:22. So yeah, I got a 10:22 run, and that put me at a 98 out of 100 points. So yeah. Still a little like red and stuff and kind of like sweaty, but it's so cold out. We had to run actually upstairs because it was 13 outside, so we had to run upstairs and the heaters weren't on. It kind of sucked. Right now I'm gonna hit the shop at, and yeah, kind of re-amp myself with some electrolytes and some food when I get back to the station. Alright guys, what is going on? And welcome to today's video. Hope you guys are doing absolutely fantastic. So I'm here in working the first 24 of my 48-hour shift. And for those of you guys who are new to the channel, I am Senior Cantu, Randy Cantu. This is my YouTube channel. I kind of incorporate firefighting, lifestyle, stuff like that into my YouTube videos, and that's where a bunch of my subscriber base is pretty much formed on, was that of Air Force firefighting. People kind of curious to know what the Air Force is about, but I'm about to work out, so I'm in my downtime gear. I got legs today. I just wanted to show you guys it's guard weekend. What that means is all these cars right here are never there. Never. Probably like once a month for a Saturday and Sunday. And it's pretty much the National Guard that is attached to this base. And they do the little shenanigans on whatever they do that's critical to their mission. And yeah, just thought that was a little component a lot of you guys don't know about this base, Peterson Air Force Base, to be exact. We have a guard unit attached, and I don't know, just kind of some random info I'd like to share with you guys. But we're in the gym, and like I said, we have legs today, so we're gonna see how that turns out. Got the knee sleeves on the calves. My destroyed, guys. I've had these Chucks for like 3.5 years. Trust me, I do have a better pair, so don't feel bad. I just did not bring them. I totally forgot. But look at this. Look at this, bro. Come on. So these are literally like my backup. I'd never wear unless I've totally forgot my shoes, which happened today. And yeah, so enough rambling, enough talking. Now that you're here, hit that subscribe button. Hit it, like, please, right now. That'll mean the absolute world to me. But other than that, let's get into this video.
was trying to lit. Yeah. That's what I did. Well, he probably like actually lead climbed.
Yeah, he's either at a gym or actually rock climbing on a mountainside.
Yeah. Butt down.
How you say you fail if you don't try? Someday every legend gotta die. Sitting in a trap making doves cry. What you gon' do when our love die? Ain't nothing private about this life but a jet. Flex, flex, now my everyday a flex. I just received 50 G's over a text.
Like you learn a new word and then you hear somebody use it like 3 times that same day. Yeah. So this day, it's like in 4th grade, and I got told while I was in school, if you get hit too hard in the back of the head, you can go blind straight up. And I was like, oh shit! Like, and I got irrationally fearful of like going blind by taking a hit to the back of the head. But in the same day, now I'm at like my grandma's house with my brother, and there's a rope swing in the yard, and you know how like a tree has a root system, and like sometimes it'll come out of the ground and back in, so it's like that hard fucking wooden root. Yeah. I was on this rope swing, and I asked my brother all day, like, hey man, help me up there, I want to swing. And he wouldn't let me do it, so finally he's like, all right, fuck it. He put me up on it, and I didn't know that he was plotting against me. He pulls out this switch, and as I'm swinging, I'm like having a fun time, and he wham, and he slaps me on the back of the calves with it, and I fucking let go, and bam, I hit my head on one of those roots. Nothing. I couldn't see a fucking thing for like 30 seconds. And all I got up, I was like, I'm blind. I was like, Tyler, you dog, I'm blind. And he was like, shut the fuck up. He's like hitting me in the face. Wake up. And I'm like, I can't see. And I thought for like, and eventually like my vision came back. But
It was like it happened.
I was like, dude, I fucking learned this today in 4th grade. Now I'm blind. How fucking ironic.
How are you filming?
I'm not filming, dude. I'm just trying to see if my camera works. Harvey! Alright, so we're back to the actual main topic of... I'm actually... God damn.
Your head was like cut off.
Sit on my lap.
Well,
Now
we're on the topic of today's video, pretty much speaking on getting deployed, and not actually the inside of the deployment, but like how is it when you get the news of, hey, you're deploying in so and so days.
it's heartbreaking.
So recently, Goo, right, Gutierrez, was initially told he was getting deployed back in December, right, or November?
Just in December.
All right, sweet. So you want to tell them a little like how it was whenever you're like, oh wow, like when they really first told you? Volunteer, selected, what was it?
Let's see. Pretty much found out that there was a tasking that came out, and it was like my window. So basically, when you get to a base, you get assigned a window to what you're going to deploy in.
Certain times of the year.
Yeah.
Certain months out of the year.
Exactly. So it happened to be my window, and there's a few of us that got interviewed and got asked if we'd be willing to deploy. Most of us said if the mission needed us, if the department needed us, we would do it.
Oh yeah.
There's a few people who had families, either starting new families or babies on the way. So naturally, it fell on me, kind of a single guy, that I was more available to go than these guys were. And so pretty much as I found out, was taken off the floor and pretty much put into out processing for deployment, getting gear issued.
I guess like off-duty measures, like letting your insurance know you're like your renter, like hey, I'm leaving, car bills, like you got to do all that stuff shit too, right?
Correct. I was also in the process of moving. My lease had recently ended, so I was moving to a new place.
Yeah, so like, if I'm not mistaken, like you could definitely like get a different kind of like rate of like cost whenever you let your insurance know, like hey, my car's back home and I'm gonna be driving it, but I still like kind of want to insure. I guess they give you like a deal, according to Sergeant Beckman on the camera.
Yeah, they can probably like lower your interest, your insurance rate, or set to a set price. Same thing could happen to like credit cards. You can lower your interest rates to like really low rates.
So what was like emotion though, like running through you? Like were you excited? Were you like, I really don't feel like going? Like what was it?
Since I've joined, I've wanted to deploy. I've volunteered for almost every deployment that has come down,
Yeah,
and haven't had
seriously.
an opportunity.
Literally me, like I've wanted to deploy and I was like super close to getting, I haven't told you guys yet, but I was so close to getting deployed where it was my name and Giddings, you guys know who Giddings is, in a hat, right? So Giddings isn't even here, he's deployed, he's gone.
Somewhere.
It was him and my name in a hat, and they selected it randomly, pulled out his name, and I was just like, if I had Giddings was off whenever they selected it, and I called him, hey, you want to deploy? Because I thought it was gonna be him and I. They were like, hey, well, both of you guys can't go because you guys are on the same shift. We're gonna have to choose one of you. And I'm like, if I had never told him, he would have never gotten it. It would have been like for sure me. So I was kind of like semi disappointed just because I get up. At that time, I was getting out 8 months from now, or from then, and the deployment was 6 months. And I would have came back, I only had like 2 months out processing, leave on top of that. Like I would have pretty much been done as soon as I came back. But unfortunately, things didn't fall in the right places, stuff like that. But now, that was our experience. We're actually gonna get someone who had genuine deployment experience, not just one. So, Sergeant Beck, it's your turn. Your time to shine. Get over here. Where you were at, how was it like when you got the news? Were you selected? Were you voluntold?
Alrighty. So unlike Gutierrez, I was told 6 months in advance. I was at Tyndall Air Force Base. I went to Aldafra, had plenty of time to plan for it, get prepared, get my mind right, get all my bills right, let my family know, hang out with my family and friends before I left. And then I went to a really, what we would call a cake deployment, meaning not too much danger, not too much hostile environment outside of the wire. We were mainly sustaining a mission that was already there for a while, and the actual air base is not classified. It was all down. It's in UAE, right about 3 hours away from Dubai.
Yeah.
And while I was there, I got to travel around, take little off-base trips, adventures, and it was a really good time. Met a lot of good people, got a lot of good work done. And if I would have to say, prepping to get there was easy. It was a steady flow of information, talking to the right people. You have all these people that you have to go to get signed off, unit deployment manager, unit training manager, your own supervisor. Medical clearance. So you got to be, depending on where you're going, depending on all the shots that you got to get, the vaccinations. Like not a lot of people got to get smallpox. I had to get smallpox, which is a shitty vaccination. It sucks. But that was prepping was much easier than what Goot had. His was short notice.
I think
hit the ground running and figure it out as you go, which is super high stress. If you don't know, you're forced into something that your hands are behind your back during the situation. So for me, it was not that way, and for most teams, it's not that way unless you're in a high vis, SOF mission, stuff like that. For me, fire department, firefighters, ours is more to sustain a mission that's already there, unless you go with Red Horse, and then you'll be doing sort of behind the wire work, setting up a base. But it depends on everywhere you go. Depends on the name. It's the name of the base. So for mine was a pretty easy base. But for his, I don't know. I haven't been there. It could have been a bear base, which means more action, more feet to the ground, kind of hustle bustle going around. So yeah.
Pretty much like what kind of also separates too is living conditions, like what you have as far as like lifestyle too on the base. So like a bear base would have like minimalistic bear, think of like shitty gym, maybe no Wi-Fi, stuff like that.
Yeah,
And then
definitely.
kind of like a better base, like
Yeah, our base was built up, and you could, like I said, you could take cars, rent cars if you were the proper rank and had the right certs and the right license, and you could go off base and travel. It hasn't always been like that, when things are going down or certain certain peace times, they're not so peaceful. You're gonna lose some of your, you know, some of your liberties. But for me, I was lucky, blessed, if you will, and had a really good time. Got to do pretty much anything I wanted to do, like go to Dubai, go to Abu Dhabi, went to the Burj Khalifa, and you can do this sort of things at other deployments as well. They'll, you know, if it's a safe area, the immediate area is safe. You can go off, visit the local czars, you know, shops, markets, it's a bazaar, local czars, stuff like that. So just depends on where you go. For him, I do feel bad for him. There was a lot of short notice stuff coming at him, high stress situation. You got to get everything right. But for me, the Air Force, you know, had it right. The people that I was working with took care of me. Here, not so much.
Yeah. So, and a crazy thing, I'm sorry to cut you off. The crazy thing was, if you thought Gutierrez had a short notice of like a month span to get ready, Gaudry had literally like 7 days. They're like, hey, you're deployed in 7 days, and he's married, and he has a baby on the way who's going to be due while he was deployed. So if you can imagine the stress that he did, and he just bought a house like last month, a brand new house. Like he was just like, bro, like I have so much on my plate. I'm not even going to see my family before I take off back home. I'm literally leaving next week. So if you guys can imagine, that Gutierrez was considered a short tasking. Beck was considered like a normal tasking, and then Gaudry was just like, well, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're deploying in 7